What's up guys, Jason McMurray here, coming at you with another install video. Today I'm installing the pinned EMX running board inserts. These things are super sweet and they're pretty easy to install. As you can see here, I've already got one side done and they look good. Like those are going to evacuate some snow very nicely. So I did one side just to make sure I knew what I was doing, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it on this other side. You'll notice here I've cut these out from years previous to help get rid of some snow, but it helped, but it's still, your boards are still slippery and they still gather the snow, so we're going to put these in. So the first step is to drill out these steel rivets here. And all you need for that is a 3/16 drill bit. And so you have the option, you can either reinstall this piece afterwards, or you can do like I did and just completely delete it. It doesn't offer much in the way of strength or support, so I just got rid of it. I'm looking for max snow evacuation, and I think that's going to get her done. Alright, I'll show you exactly how I did it. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and drill these 4 rivets out, and I'm actually going to drill out the back one here too and totally remove that. So once you have this back piece removed, we can take your insert, grab the 4 steel rivets, put them in, set it in place, and this will kind of line you up where it's got to go. And you'll see it's only going to really fit one spot. You get a little bit of wiggle room. So after you do that, you can, I just clamped it down with some vice grips front and back just to hold it in place. You trace out where you're going to make your cuts, because you're going to totally cut out the old junk out of there. And I just use a white paint marker. Shows up a little better than a black marker on the black. So don't be afraid to make your cuts here, because the insert kind of hides your cuts. See if they're a little bit ugly, a little bit gnarly, it's okay. So clamp it in place, trace it out, and you're going to take your drill bit and start drilling all your holes. All you have to do is run it right through the holes on the insert and drill out all your holes, and then you can remove the insert. So let's go ahead and get to that. Okay, shut that off, it's too noisy. So here you go. We pulled the old insert back out after we drilled our holes, and now you're going to be able to see exactly where you're going to want to make your cuts. So make sure to leave enough meat that this rivet is going to get, you know, a good grab. So you're going to have to leave this little raised edge here, but don't worry, because the kit comes with a washer that goes on the old part of the board underneath the insert, and your rivet goes right through and takes up that little space for this raised edge. So like I said, just make sure you leave a little bit of meat for these rivets to grab. These inside ones, you're going to be right up to these factory rivets. You're going to be right up close, like right at the edge of them. And in some cases you'll be biting into them a little bit, but that's okay, because you're putting a rivet, you know, pretty much right back in beside it. So don't worry about if you hit those rivets, that's okay. You pretty well need to go tight to those rivets, and you can run pretty much along the outside of this little raised edge here with your zip disc, and that'll keep it back hidden enough underneath the new insert Once you get all your cuts done, we can hit it with a little bit of black paint just to hide the that raw aluminum, and then it'll be on to riveting it in place. So let's go ahead and make these cuts. Right on. So there's what it's going to look like after you make your cuts. Nice and open. I left this little piece at the back just because there's a brace there. It hides underneath. I'm just going to leave that there. Maybe it'll add a little strength. Same with this one at the front. You want to make sure you leave that one. Just add a little bit of strength up here. And once we get it to this point, take your board, use your rivets back here, line it up, and boom, we can go ahead and paint this. I'm going to move the board out of the way. I'm going to give it a shot of paint just to hide that raw aluminum, and then I'm going to show you a little tip to get these washers underneath the insert and on top of the old board. Like I said, that's going to take up the space from these raised edges that are left over. Alright, so we got all our painting done. I gave it a few minutes to dry up, and now we have to install these washers on every hole for the rivets. This is just, like I said, to make up for this little raised edge that's left over. It gets your board up level and makes it sit nice and tight. So I'll show you a little tip, because it's hard to get these washers to stay in place while you're trying to put your board in and get your rivets. So this is just a little bit of silicone, and I just go to every hole, give it a little dab where the washer is going to sit. Doesn't really matter because it's going to be hidden. Just give it a little dab there, and that way you can take your washer and stick it right in place. Once you get all your washers in place, give it a minute just to set up. This is optional, you don't have to do this, but it's a little easier than chasing washers around. Once you get all those in place, you can set your board in place and start to rivet your boards in. Alright, got all our washers stuck in place. Gonna grab our board. Our 4 pins back here are still in there. Use those for an alignment. Couple little wiggles. And those are in place. Now, I like to go ahead and just install all my rivets at a time, and then come back after with the air rivet gun and bang, bang, bang. Your board will be installed. Alright, we've got our insert in place. We made sure all our rivets line up nicely, and I put some washers on the bottom side of these 4 steel rivets. Just gives them something really strong to sandwich to, and we can go ahead and bang them in place. So we're going to start from the back and work our way forward. We're going to kind of work side to side